got going on.
Let's fucking
Fuck yes.
go. Let's
Yeah.
fucking go.
Thank
Dude,
God.
that was
Man.
like a Marilyn Manson kind of thing.
Dude,
Marilyn
yeah,
Manson, like,
that was a real heavy intro there. I love that.
Let's go. 1999, baby.
dude,
Dude,
once
you know,
Antonio's
it's
kids go to bed, he becomes like extra heavy
a whole
metal.
different
Right?
monster. Yeah,
I
fuck, dude.
paint my fingernails black, dude, and fucking just.
Dude, you're like a werewolf.
Got some eyeliner going on.
Yeah.
Man, that's great, dude. And just in time for us being able to bring up some Dream Master. So, there was a little bit of a debate, what we were going to do here. There was kind of a back and forth whether we were going to talk New Nightmare, which was initially supposed to be today. But, I'm glad that we're not dodging out on this one. And I will say this also, because I almost feel like maybe this was a thing from the universe that we were supposed to wait on watching this, because when we were initially going to talk about it, I didn't want to full on, be on here and just fully sucking on the cock of the Dream Master. But some time has passed and I watched it again. It is a fucking solid movie, dude.
Before we start, I just want to say that I think like goth freak Antonio over here thought I think he thought we were going to be talking about The Crow. So we might want to give him like a few minutes to process that we're not talking about The Crow. So then we can get started.
I need to decompress and like take
yeah
back in.
He's gonna have to go scrub the eyeliner off for a minute. Then
he's
maybe
like trying to uncrack the neon, like the glow sticks that he had all lined up and shit. He's like, fuck, I already paid for these. I'm not gonna be able to return them.
Dude, Antonio, you got any nail polish remover left? Like, I think you might want to get that.
No, I think hold on. I'm out, dude. Sorry.
All right, so that's
it's right there.
It's
right there. Started. Dude, like I say, I think this was supposed to happen like this. This is a divine thing, because I went back and plopped this on today while I'm in the gym. I sat here and watched this, and not to completely blow the load right off, the lid, but dude, this movie rocks. I am pretty bummed out that it comes to this point to where like I've really given it the attention that it needs, and I'm so excited to be able to dig into shit about this movie. And there's a lot of, I think, especially for the production of it and what we're going to kind of get into as far as how much of a shit show that it really maybe even should have been. They pulled it off, dude. Man.
If you watch the documentary, the Never Sleep Again documentary, they explain so much about like what a fucking crazy nightmare this movie was.
Fuck. There's no way. I mean, we're talking day-to-day production. We're talking, you had maybe 4 or 5 different special effects teams. You have, they're trying to, scramble to get, actors from previous movies. And I think maybe a little bit of the downfall is our beloved Kincaid. Maybe we can even start off with, talking some of the kills and the characters. My brother, why'd they have to take him out so quick? God
dude,
damn.
He was one of the 3 last.
Yeah,
he had to go.
I thought about this a lot, actually. I'm glad we're talking about it. So, like my favorite thing about this series, right, is that it does such a better job of the continuity than any of the other franchises. And continuity is so important, in my opinion, because it's like the glue that keeps it together, right? They did it enough to where like you could still watch it without ever having seen the stuff before it, but like for like true fans, having the continuity is important. So when 4 has some of the carryover characters and they just decide to kill them at the beginning, bummed me out, because I thought there was a lot more potential there to kind of go on, right? So, and then obviously like the recast, right? That was done for with the what's her name, Tuesday night, right? Not Wednesday, not Friday.
Just showing on a Tuesday night.
Like having her recast and stuff, like, which is like whatever. That was like whatever, it happened. But like just the way that Kincaid went out, like Joey, like I just thought, I don't know, I felt like there was like more to it. I get it why they did it. I just wish that like there was a good thing that was set up in 3 which is let's build in some actual continuity in the storyline, and let's like build this. Let's kind of build this sort of like universe out, because this is where the dreams start turning into like 3 sets up the stage for like now we're the dreams are more interactive. Now we can like kind of like bond together, right? And people are being pulled into the dreams. It's not like Freddy's coming in and it's like kind of like a virus of sorts, right? Like he just sort of like, you know, chooses people that he does. Because before it was all the people, all the kids that were the kids of the people that killed him, right? Rightfully so, right? But then they're gone. So now we got to figure out what are we going to do now, right? And so like that's where like 3 and mostly 4 really takes into like the new turn of like how the series is going to go. So yeah, like back to the point, like I wish that he wouldn't have died as like those people wouldn't have died as quickly, because I felt like it just changed the shape of the series. And I don't think that it was bad. It's just I would have loved to have seen like some sort of like connection still from the beginning, because after all those kids are dead, you know what I mean? Like it's now we have kind of like now the whole reason and the rationale is like shifted. That's all.
Yeah.
So I have a slightly different take on that. I think that it's awesome that they die right away, because as cool as those characters are, and I think it's like awesome to see them carry into the next movie, but at the same time, like the bleakness of the situation, like can't really be fully illustrated without them being killed off right away like that. So it's like when he finally kills Kristen after he kills Kincaid and Joey, you know, you're kind of like, holy shit, like these kids have their shit cut out for them. Like, you know, like Alice and Friends, like they are potentially fucked, you know? Like Freddy's gonna get you, you know? I like that, like I think that Kincaid and Joey and Kristen are like in the movie for a perfect amount of time to transfer over to this new group of people. Yeah, it's a really, really solid, in my opinion, it's a really solid transition, and like their screen time is like perfect to me.
Well, Kristen's death really, that's where the whole like taking her like I don't know how this has happened, but like it's her powers, like she's like getting ready to be like incinerated or whatever, right? So like, here, take my powers, and like, which is I didn't put it together like until watching it I don't know, a few years ago, that like this was like the shift. So now you have like these powers that I had, you know, before, whatever the fuck they were. Remember, she was like a gymnast and whatever. So like now you have like powers, Alice, to kind of like, you know, kind of continue on with this whole thing. But like, yeah, I don't know.
It's the power to bring people into your dreams. So like, dude, the part where.
But they
the
didn't
part
really
where she was
explain
like,
that super well, though. You
what's
know?
that?
Like, it was like they didn't really do a good job of explaining like what that was really.
See, the thing is, yeah, it's like they make it kind of like a transferable thing in part 4, when really it's not in part 3. It's kind of like this like unnamed ability to do that, you know?
Yeah.
But like in the 4th one, right before, like when Kristen gets thrown into the fire water or whatever, which is a really funny part, by the way. Because she's like, leave him alone, you son of a bitch, and then she just like gets fucking owned, like immediately. Like, no more problems. You're done. Your shift is over.
I feel like they were pretty close to explaining some of that, and then all of a sudden it just closes in on Kincaid throwing some darts in his bedroom, you know, just hanging out with old Jason coming in the room, his pup.
Dude,
it's like, damn it, I wish they would have.
My dog, we can finally get this out there for anyone that's like not seen this movie. My dog is named after Kincaid's dog.
Oh shit! I forgot you told me that shit.
Yeah,
that's funny.
My dog's name is Jason, and ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to name my dog Jason, which is funny because when I was a kid, we got a dog, and I did not name him Jason, even though it was like literally at the time I wanted to have a dog.
Unreal. Oh, but I mean, so like, you know, that was just kind of one of those things where I understand, you know, and I think it was something where I started thinking of, you know, the trend of the last like 10 years of introducing a character, or even, you know, wrapping this back to wrapping this back around to like Wes Craven of like the Scream series, where it's like we're gonna bring back a detrimental character and that be the first person who ends up getting cut off. I found that like kind of interesting and like trying to think back even into like the 70s and 80s where something like that was happening, as far as a continued cast and someone who you're beloved with just being lopped off right at the beginning. And I'm like, oh, dude. Kincaid, though, I would have loved to see, him kind of further and, maybe a different scene happen as opposed to the silly death that comes of Joey in a little bit later, which kind of has a funny story to that. But I don't know. I wish that Kincaid would have been around a little bit longer. That's just me. R.I.P. my dude.
Kincaid is awesome. When he thinks that he killed Freddy, when he throws the car on him and he's like, "Take that motherfucker!"
Yeah,
so good. And
then essentially, I mean, you have Jason bringing back Freddy. Also, that's kind of like a weird thing too, where it's like a conglomerate of things, a bunch of nerds sitting around a fucking coffee table and being like, well, technically, I think that they give plenty of fucking goofballs like us to sit here and have a conversation about that.
I think that the cool thing about Freddy is that he takes individual things about that are sacred or close to people and makes it bad for them. Mm-hmm. So it's he's following his dog. I like when Jason digs up Freddy and then all of a sudden he just pieces out. He's like, "Dude, you're fucking lame. I'm out of here." When he walks away, it's just what the fuck? You're supposed to be my boy.
Yeah.
And he just
pisses fire and leaves.
And then Freddy kills
Kincaid,
and that's it. And the Joey death too. It's he was like a horn dog in the first one, chasing after that nurse.
Mm-hmm.
That gets him fucked.
Yep.
Not literally. And then in the next one, he's this girl in a bikini on his poster ends up dude, I love that scene.
Absolutely. And so with that, I think that is something where the beginning of this movie was something where it could have gone both ways. The set pieces, the aspect of being in the junkyard, all of these cars, all these different things, I loved it. I think the one thing where I was kind of tossed initially when really digging back into this was, okay, Kincaid gets killed. It goes back into the real world and he's in his bed and he's like, bah, bah, and it nothing is really happening. So I'm like, is that what we're doing now? Something sick happens in the spiritual world and you're going to be just fucking you had a heart attack and you're just laying there. It's what happened to all this shit in the first one where the fucking,
where's
right.
His gutted ass body in his bed.
Right. But I can say, I think further in the movie that gets a little bit, reconciled as far as some of the other deaths that end up happening. But the set pieces within this movie, I think, are fucking just over the top, ridiculous, awesome. That junkyard scene and all the moving parts, I can't imagine trying to fucking come up with something somebody hiring me on and they're telling me that we're gonna fucking try and pull this off. Nah,
yeah, dude, it's
all right.
It's a really cool movie for all these reasons. There's the scene with the pizza, where where they had the heads on the pizza, but that was when they zoom in, that must have been fun to film.
Yeah,
it's somebody's actual face, on in a bunch of cheese.
The Craven.
But what I wonder is how did they get their heads so small on the pizza?
Shut the fuck up.
Star Wars came along, and you just sit here and you ponder these things. How I
love this the part where he goes in for the sausage and he just
I still
disgusting.
don't understand to this day. I don't understand how they got their heads to shrink down to that size. But I guess
I mean, you've seen Willy Wonka, right?
I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Now you know.
I mean, there's the CG tricks.
What's that?
The annoying kid with the glasses, remember? And Willy Wonka, you get shrunk. They shrink.
What are you talking about, dude?
They shrink him down in Willy Wonka.
What the hell are you talking about? There's no dude with the glasses.
The little kid, the little boy that's like really annoying. Remember? And they puts in the microwave, puts a thing in the microwave. Remember?
Dude, are you talking about the same fucking movie?
Is this like Return to Oz?
Willy Wonka, brother.
Dude, are you out of your fucking mind, man? Like, is this a troll, or is this like, oh, you're confusing this with like one of your fucking like goth films or something?
And all I'm trying to do is just let you know how this is possible. That's all.
Yo, no, I actually want to get to the bottom of this. Are you serious? Like, is there like a kid with like a shrunken head with glasses
No.
and Willy
Right, it doesn't
Wonka?
have a shrunken head. Remember in Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory, there's like all the different characters, right? And one of them, they're all mostly annoying like kids, except for Charlie, right? And remember,
Oh,
there's
you're talking about Mike TV when he shrinks him into the TV. He doesn't have glasses. He doesn't have
no.
glasses.
Remember, I didn't say glasses. I said goggles and goggles. Remember,
Oh,
he
you
had
did?
like goggles on during that time.
I think you did say glasses, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, I meant goggles. Remember, because he has
Now
goggles
I
on his
now
head.
I know
covering.
exactly what part you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I
Okay.
didn't even put that together. Anyways,
I still don't. I've seen it a couple of times, and I don't really fucking remember that
TV.
movie. And then I remember.
Mike TV.
Yeah, so cool.
He wants to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, and then we're talking set pieces and we're talking different things, and like one of the things I enjoyed about this movie, and I think this has kind of been reoccurring within these movies too, is the pacing. And I don't feel like it's necessarily every 5 minutes there's a death or every 5 minutes there's some sort of big action, but it doesn't feel like there's a slog within this movie. I feel like something big happens and they kind of get to, oh fuck, how did this happen, or what's going on, or maybe it's like a cemetery scene or some shit like that. And then we get to this bed scene. I mean, tell me, did either of you guys have water beds at any point?
Oh yeah,
Yes, my parents had a waterbed.
dude, I had a water bed, and dude,
You had a water
what's funny?
bed? You had a waterbed.
What
You had a waterbed?
You had one?
is that hard to believe?
Well, because like my parents had a waterbed, but that's because they were expensive as hell. I don't think
Yeah,
I ever knew
my-
any like people that had
My uncle
waterbeds.
gave me the one that I had in my room.
Really?
I think I was the only.
Was it
I
like
think my brother.
was it a full size or what size was
It's
it?
probably like a. It was a big bed. I probably had like a.
Was it like an inflatable pool with a sheet over it?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you consider a waterbed, it was like a mattress filled with water.
Do you remember how you had to like fix the holes like that would come in? You had to get like that special like plug thing and like the
I
it was
remember
like this like
turn
goop
up,
stuff to put on it.
Fucking disaster. Oh my
remember you
God.
could turn up the temperature of the water. You could make
What?
you could make it hot or cold.
No. Here's the thing. This is my actual question because you're like 10 years, 16, 15, 20 years older than me.
33, and let's just say I look pretty fucking good for being 73 years old, right?
Listen, you got a haircut. You got a haircut this week or something, and now you're really feeling yourself. So, anyways, the point that I want.
Hey, wait! Time out. It's called self-care.
Okay, and I'm self-aware right now of this
Yeah.
situation, and I'm telling you that the question that I have is, with you being so much older than both myself and the lo-fi horror guy, right?
Yeah.
Was the motion in the ocean really like a benefit for the waterbed? I don't know. I never experienced that. You should tell
You're a
us.
fucking weirdo, man. Like that's all I gotta say.
Just
like,
not
motion
once
in the
if
ocean.
yes.
Get the fuck, dude.
Just not
sign
shake
out,
once, dude.
head if
Not,
no.
Yeah, exactly.
dude.
Dude,
Sign
that's
out
it.
of this chat, man. Let us talk.
Listen, man. I'm just asking because I don't know anybody that privileged enough to have had a waterbed.
I
Okay,
neither.
as
Uncle
Hey,
gave
as-
us my uncle gave us the waterbed that I had. He didn't want it anymore. He gave it to me.
so
Fuck.
he slept on a twin size waterbed mattress.
No, it was
He
like
gave it to you.
probably honestly looking back on it, it was probably like a queen size bed. I'm guessing.
And you had a fucking queen size bed.
Dude, you want to know?
God
You want to
damn,
know
dude.
a really fucking funny story about that waterbed? So I had that
Yeah.
thing all through. I had that thing like all through my childhood, and then eventually, for whatever reason, we moved it into my brother's room, and he had it for a while. But for some reason, when I moved in to like my sophomore year of college, I got a house with some friends, and my dad and I, like, for whatever reason, I must have been taking this waterbed for college, like for sophomore year. This would be 2020.
You moved it?
2002. 2002 is when my sophomore year of college, and my dad and I were moving the mattress down into the basement, and I don't know why the fuck we wouldn't have drained this thing ahead of time. But for whatever reason, I
Oh my
remember
God.
us carrying this like full water bed like mattress with water in it down the stairs, and it got like cut on like a nail or something that was on the side, and like, dude, the thing ripped open and water just spilled all over the fucking floor of the room that I was supposed to stay in.
Dude, how pissed was Chuck? He was probably like,
I don't think he was. I just think we were both like instantly like, man, we are idiots.
What the fuck?
damn.
Oh my god!
The only like looking back on it, the only thing I can think of that would maybe make sense about this, other than us being really fucking unbelievably stupid, is that maybe we had the bed in there already and we had filled it up and we had to move it somewhere else, and then this happened. That's the only thing I can think of. But I do remember this, like, the thing was totaled. It was like no good anymore after this. Like, you can't fix that. Once the waterbed mattress is torn open, that's it. Like, it's done.
Yeah.
Was there ever a leak sprung before? Like, was it ever? I mean, were these things pretty industrial? I guess I don't know. Like, is it something?
There was never any problems with it. There was
had holes like on my parents' one like all the time, but that's because like there's like we'd play with toys on the bed and stuff like that.
You guys are fucking jumping on it and shit. Yeah, God damn it, exactly. Ruining everything around here.
Gee, I wonder what could have happened to that bed to make there be holes in it. That's crazy to think about.
I mean,
two adults have a waterbed. I wonder what made that happen.
I mean,
jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, lots of Legos and
Jesus.
What could have possibly sprung that leak? I don't know.
Couple of wrestlers with some sharp hair. Who knows?
Yeah, lots of very sharp hair.
Okay, so
the spikes on my bracelets that I would wear.
Yeah, Antonio had his Rob Halford like studded cuffs, and you know, he's really young, trying to be like a big metal guy.
Oh,
well,
dude.
I mean, I did have like a whole deal, and it started with I had a three row studded bracelet. I had a spike bracelet. It was like pretty big, and then I had and then I had like a leather like kind of bracelet that was like probably like this thick with like metal key rings in it, and then I had like a baseball, like a like a baseball.
This is the meat. This is the meat of the episode right here.
A baseball sweatband that I had that was black, and I just I put pins on it from like different bands and shows I go to. Let's fucking go,
dude.
Jesus,
literally no like. There's no way to make any of this sound anything but completely lame.
Okay, listen. Let's get back to the waterbeds that you were asking. So yes, we both have had waterbeds.
You guys both had waterbeds.
Yes.
Numerous different things that had pierced it. Now, I mean, would you say that Freddie coming through with behind a hot babe popping up, was this ever a thing that you saw the movie and you're like, damn, why didn't my waterbed do this?
I remember thinking like, man, even in third grade when I saw this movie, I remember thinking like, man, like he was really excited that girl was naked, and then he died.
Yeah.
I remember thinking,
what a
like, man, that
bummer.
sucks.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate buzzkill. Honestly, like that would suck. That'd be so shitty. But I mean,
yeah.
How was he really going to have sex with the girl through the bed anyways? Like, I mean,
he had to know,
like, this just isn't happening anyway.
He should have just jumped off and got the fuck out of there. Like, that would have been like, yo, this is weird.
Yeah.
But that's his weakness, though. his weakness is sex.
His
Like,
babes.
But
like that's his
apparently he's
weakness
like
in part three.
so horny that he thinks that having sex with like a woman through a waterbed is something that could actually happen. He's an idiot.
I mean,
It's not just a woman, though. He has a poster of her. You're going to tell me that she's popping up through your bed and you're not going to say, what's up?
I would, bro. I'd freak the fuck out. I see that. I'm getting the fuck out. It's like if I saw like a big ass fucking like arachnid, right? I'm getting the fuck out of there, dude.
this
I'm not fucking around for this, dude.
I'm poking a hole,
Can-
brother. That's all I'm
Can you
saying.
imagine?
I'll leave that
imagine I'm
there.
on a waterbed and it's fucking John on
listen.
the waterbed. Like,
If she was in
I'm outta
there, I
here,
think,
man.
I
Fucking
think any
freakazoid.
reasonable teenager would figure something out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You mean like poke a hole in the waterbed?
I mean, hey, look, whatever you got to do. There's no way that a teenager in that situation is not getting laid, unless Freddy comes through and kills you.
Which,
They basically took the one possible way that wouldn't work out, and they made it real.
Yeah.
Which is, in fact, she becomes Freddy Krueger. But it's
And,
also
like-
funny because it's clearly not the same woman that's in the poster that's in the water. Like it's not the same woman at all.
That's what I'm saying. And
I know.
then for him to like die, and then when he's like in the bed, and it's like, all right, like how are we explaining this?
What's really funny about that is that, like, instead of just taking a picture of the actress and making a poster, they probably just had that prop already, and they're like, shit, we can't get her. We either don't know who she is, or she doesn't want to be in this fucking movie.
That would be funny
And so,
to like sitting on that meeting where it's like, hey, we can't get oh my god, why can't I think of what her name is from Arquette from part 3.
oh yeah,
Arquette, yeah.
Trisha Arquette, sorry, we're not going to be able to get her. Also, the girl that's on the poster that's supposed to be here 20 minutes ago, she canceled. So we're just going to have to find somebody else who's willing to take the job. It's
like slamming his fist down. He's like, two people now.
So funny.
This is going to shit.
Let's actually. One of the
dude.
things I wanted to talk about in this episode more than anything is, where do you guys stand on Tuesday night? Like the successor of Kristen. Like, what do you guys think? Like, are you? What do you think of her? Like reprising that role. Like, did she do a good job? Do you like her character? Like, what do you think in comparison to Patricia Arquette?
Honestly, I feel like more of the emphasis somehow falls on what was the main girl, Alice. To where,
well, yeah,
when I get into the, I'm just saying, as far as like when it gets into the parts with Kristen and everything, it's not even something where I'm like, I kind of want to see what's going on with Alice more, to where it gets into like her story and her backstory, and she has the pills and she's fumbling upstairs and shit. I'm like, what's going on over here? You know what I'm saying? This isn't even the same person. That kind of becomes like a backstory to me.
I agree. I think Alice is like a great protagonist, and like once it becomes like about her, it's awesome, right? I think it's great.
Right.
She's like an amazing like female lead, right? But given that like Kristen is like such an iconic character to the series, and like Patricia Arquette is like, I mean, I think this was like her breakout role. Was not, actually, yeah, it was because she gained so much popularity from being in part 3 that like she was like, fuck this when they asked her to come back for part 4, because she had bigger things going on. So it's like, I mean, given the fact that like she didn't return, I'm curious, like, do you guys think that Tuesday night like held her head above water with that role?
I think that it didn't matter personally, because
you guys are both fucking pissing me off.
No,
man.
but listen to me. The reason why is because she's not in it. Like, the whole purpose of that movie, like, even if Patricia Arquette came back to reprise that role, she was going to be in it for 10 minutes, right? So like, she's going to get killed, because the whole point was like, with everything going on and killing those characters, we wanted to make like a very big like statement with the first like 20 minutes of this movie, which is like, kill the only character that like that has any type of like resemblance to like what a Nancy was, right? So like, for me, like there was parts of her, like in terms of like her role and acting that I like at times enjoyed more than what I saw with like the Patricia Arquette's character, or Nancy played by Patricia Arquette. But I didn't read too much into it because by the time that Tuesday Night is in this role, I'm already a little like this is not the same person, and so I'm not putting as much stock into it. So like I'm fine with her getting killed, and I don't even think twice about it.
So I'm guessing that in your eyes, like she didn't do a good job because just because she gets killed, like
no, I don't think that she did a bad job.
Well,
I'm just saying, like I just didn't like. To me, it's like if I'm looking at her, it's like I'm looking
It almost
at
felt like a new character.
yeah.
Like other than her name and other than different things that maybe you were supposed to kind of like associate with like the previous movie. I don't know. It just kind of felt like it was a new character in this movie named Kristen.
It's like
I didn't really like associate her.
Sheila and Debbie, like the characters in the movie that are like they're her friends, and they're like, you know, they're not like super deep. It's just like sort of like their whole thing is really the point of them being in the movies is more of them to like die, whereas like you know like Dan ends up being like her boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like that carries in like something. Like then you've got like obviously Alice, you've got her brother. Like there's some like more storylines that are a little bit deeper. Hers was just sort of like another character that just was expendable, and you kind of knew that and felt it. So that's why, like to me, I'm just like,
yeah, I guess I get like a different vibe because I feel like because like Kristen is continuing, basically leading us into this next movie, right? I kind of feel like she's a very, very important character in the beginning and a very important character to the movie. And like, I don't know, I discussed this like at length with when we did this, like when we did part 4 on Midnight Flicks, that other podcast that I do with Adam and Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back then Brandon wasn't on it, but we talked about this at length, and basically they were like in the Patricia Arquette camp, like, oh, she's the better Kristen or whatever.
yeah. But Tuesday Night didn't have a chance, is what I'm saying. Like there was no chance.
Yeah, I don't think she did a bad job. I just,
I mean,
I don't find myself associating them, unfortunately.
I guess I don't see it that way. Like I see her as like another like pivotal character, like in the movie and like a like an important role. But I mean, I guess we'll have to just to agree to disagree there.
But I mean, I'd like to know like why exactly do you see that? Knowing that like if you're going into this movie, like even if you weren't there when it came out to see it, but you're watching it for the first time, you have to be literally confused when you're watching it and how they set the stage at the beginning of the movie because she has the same name. She doesn't look like it's not the same person or anything like that. And then by the time that you're like starting to kind of put it together, she's killed. So like, I don't really think she's that. Put it this way, she's a super important character for the series. For that movie specifically, she's really not. It's really Alice as like the pivotal character, and you can even argue Dan because when Dan gets into the Dream Child, that becomes pretty big because of what happens in the first 20 minutes of that movie, right? So I don't know. I just don't think that like to me, I just don't see her as being that character being as important in 4. I think you could actually not have had her at all. She could have been going to school in a different state and wasn't even a part of it. And I think that you could have probably figured something out with the script.
I disagree because you need that character to lead you into this movie and set the setting to what like the fears are that transition from the 3rd movie to the 4th
Why couldn't
movie. Because
even Kincaid or Joey, because they were the tie from that movie, right? And
but
like
they're not the main character, and even in the beginning, the whole movie revolves around Kristen. Everyone's finding out about what's going on through Kristen. Joey and Kincaid are like basically kind of at first they're kind of irritated that she pulled him into the first dream, you know, but like after that they're basically looking to her as a savior, basically like yelling her name when Freddy's killing them. Like she's still like kind of like the kingpin, and it transfers over. So I think I get a totally different vibe from the two of you on that, because I think that like the whole setting depends on her. Like, yes, it becomes about Alice, but like she doesn't get killed first. If she got killed first, almost like Drew Barrymore in Scream, almost like I kind of I kind of would get a similar vibe to that, where it's like, okay, Drew Barrymore in Scream, like nobody really talks about that character a lot because it's like she's not really important to the movie. She just kind of like it's like a brutal scene at the beginning, but she doesn't really matter to the plot, right? I think that's not the case with Kristen at all.
But
I think that like
think of 4 as a standalone. Like think if you're not watching the other movies and you watch 4,
I
you
saw
still gonna
4
feel
first,
that.
so that's how I processed that.
But I mean like if you have no idea what happens in 3 and you don't even know what happens in 5, like
is what I'm saying. I didn't when I saw it. So
you think that she is that important of a character? I think she dies at like she has to die like in the first 10 or 15 minutes. So she's not even like around for very long in the movie.
we could fact check that right now.
Yeah, look it up.
But it's like 40 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, there you
40?
Mhm.
48 minutes into the movie?
Yeah. So I will say I'm actually surprised to be able to look into that because it doesn't feel like she's in it like as much as that. And even when I go and I pull that up, like she literally was just dying. And it's like
I guess how much
42 minutes in.
I wonder how much screen time she actually had though, because if it's like 32 minutes, I don't remember it being like a lot of time that they're spending on Kristen in general. So I don't know.
But
we should move. I think we should like maybe just like move on from this topic because we're not really getting anywhere interesting with it. But I don't know. I think that she's like a very important and pivotal part of this movie.
totally. And I think the death, like, is one of the coolest, most ridiculous. You have a Jaws moment. She's getting pushed down under fucking sand, and then not only that, you wind up all of a sudden getting pushed down into the dream realm, and you're in like a boiler room, dude.
When he puts the sunglasses on, that's like an unbelievable Freddy moment. Like
the summer Freddy, like
dude, also,
it's like a Hollister shirt.
It's also
actually, you know what?
Funny because like the second she wakes up and you see the beach and she's like, it's like she thinks that she's like in paradise at first.
Yeah.
Like she's like, "Thanks, Alice, for taking me." But it's like, dude, there's so much wrong with that beach just from the second you see it. Like, dude, that is like a really scary beach.
Yeah. Dude, there's a company called Toxic Coffin. I've got some of their stuff. They have a shirt that's actually that Summer Freddy. On the back of it, it's like him with the sunglasses looking. I'm going to have to send a link on that, dude. I am just now putting 2 and 2 together. That absolutely rips. Summer Freddy is sick. If we could, possibly get a little bit more of that in the movie, I would say that I'm a little bummed, but I'm not because of some of the shit that ends up coming even further after this. I'm trying to think of who is the next death that was after this was. Is it Sheila?
I think it's Sheila.
And
dude,
that is one of the first.
Learning is fun with Freddy. Come on, man.
Dude, when he like when he's like want to suck face and she's like no. like I love how she gets in that answer before he kills her.
So insane. Bleeding pen.
That's one of the first parts I ever saw in any Freddy movie. We were like coming in from trick or treating to take like a little break, and this movie was playing on TV on Halloween night, and like I just walked in and that part was happening, and I was like, oh man, we got to rent this movie. This movie's
That's awesome.
And we did. Yeah.
And like I always wonder too, because of how much of the practical effects that are in this, but yet there has to be something going on CG wise as far as that claw that comes out of the desk and her arm that's going down. And I don't know as far as Rennie Harlan and where he was in his directing. I think he'd already made some movies, but like some of the shit, even like that part right there where you're watching and you're looking, dude, it looks fucking great. And this is 1988.
Yeah.
Solid.
Pretty sick.
I bet you when people saw that, they were like, whoa, that was cool.
How the fuck are they pulling that off? Yeah, I know. And I think it helps with how much, in addition to, the earlier movies, how much of this movie was already practical to where, if you really maybe stopped and slowed certain things down, you might see, certain aspects. But, Freddy's sitting at the desk. He's sharpening off the old apple. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just tell me a better life. You've got knives for fingers. You can slice off the skin. Guy's got it.
He's the goat.
Got it made. Guy's got it fucking made.
It's another example too of like every single death for the most part involves like something about the person's personality. Like Sheila's killed like taking a test, and she's like the brainiac of the movie. You know, yeah. Joey was killed by like a naked woman. Yeah. I guess the Rick death, the martial arts death, is like heavily criticized by a lot of people.
Because it's fucking stupid.
I mean, what's your take on so if you've seen the documentary, you know that the reason that Freddy is invisible is not because they wanted to have Freddy be invisible, but it's because they literally like couldn't film a scene with him again.
Right.
So they improvised. It doesn't offend me, honestly. I think it sucks that there's no. I think it sucks that like the glove comes at his stomach and like it's just over.
Yeah.
Like they don't show like him like dying or anything. It's just kind of like you barely see the glove like touch his stomach, and then all of a sudden Alice wakes up and screams. Like his death scene is kind of weak, but like I think the whole like him being into martial arts and having to like fight an invisible Freddy, it doesn't bother me personally.
Well, and it was something to do with too that whole elevator scene. There was supposed to be something more that happened with that, and I don't know if it was budgets or if it was something where they had like a deadline for filming to where they couldn't do something further with that. But the kind of the scene prior to that where he's going down the elevator and gets shit out, it wasn't necessarily I'm not mad. I didn't throw the fucking movie in the trash because of that scene, but I was just like, how did they fucking stumble on this? Like, why not just have that elevator and then have maybe the scene just like black out and there's blood, pouring out of some doors opening or some shit like that.
It'd be awesome if you got so mad about that scene that you took the DVD out and threw it in the trash.
I'll tell you what, I was so bummed out. I don't know how old I was, a teenager, and I bought the Korn DVD. If you could imagine, there was a DVD of some sort, and we thought that it was like a live concert, and it wasn't. It was like all the music videos and some other stupid bullshit like interviews. And I remember we had a bunch of bike jumps in my backyard, and we took the disc and we like dug a hole like in the jumps, in the landing of the jumps, and we put the disc under that bitch and then just put the fucking dirt back and just like piled on top of that motherfucker. Like,
damn,
yo,
dude, you guys really won that battle.
That's right. You really fucking stuck it to him.
I paid the money for the thing, and then not only that, I ruined the thing that I just fucking paid the money for. So yeah, congratulations to myself. Absolutely,
that's awesome.
Idiot.
I feel like a lot of things like there was a lot of things that I kind of like destroyed, even like things that I thought like that I like fought long and hard to purchase or like something like that, and then I just decided like, this doesn't matter anymore. It's like winds up on the floor or something.
I wish I was making that story up. It was absolutely fucking stupid, but yeah. So I mean, we go from there and kind of the continuation. I feel like this is kind of after Sheila's death. Oh, and by the way, standout moment in this movie. Not only is the fact of the fucking air is getting sucked out of her. She's deflating. The white in her eyes when it like pans back and shows her face.
Yeah.
Fuck,
dude, it's
so
crazy.
Cool.
Dude, it's crazy. That scene is so
sick. For as silly and goofy as that could have turned out, when it showed the face and everything is sunken and it turns just basically into a skull with fucking skin. Oh, dude,
that's like a haunting
rips. Image. Oh, that absolutely.
I can picture it in my head right now.
Yep.
It's also another example. Like it's kind of like continues on. It kind of continues on this like what you were saying earlier about how there's like less blood in the real world in this movie, where like she just has an asthma attack and dies. Like she doesn't end up like looking like that.
That's that switch. That's that shift though we were talking about in terms of like how they changed the sort of like ethos of like what this means really.
What's
like
going on?
Yeah, how this works in the movies, because you see it even in 5 too.
But what's funny is that the part where they get in that car wreck, where Alice and Dan get in the truck accident,
What
and
a
then he's
babies.
like fucked after that in real
Dude.
life. Like he's got his whole like stomach torn open.
That's cool.
Rough. Yeah, I mean, within it, I think even earlier when I was mentioning as far as like with Kincaid's death and shit, the whole thing with Sheila was when that happened, when that death happened, and it shows her face and it shows her body, completely deflating. Like, I think that was where I was like, okay, the real life thing coming to, and she's having an asthma attack. I'm okay with this now. If this is how the dream world kills are gonna be, like, yo, I'm fine. Let them fucking pass in their sleep. Let them look nice for the funeral. You know what I'm saying? But in the dream world, they're fucked. Freddy's doing a service now that we think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not that bad of a guy, is he?
No, he's making a no mess kill. All right, you guys got me on that one.
He's thinking of the family.
No. Okay, we can let that breathe for a few minutes. You guys can have your fun and make fun of me for that.
Well, luckily, buddy, this is recorded, so it's not just going to be us. There'll be plenty of other people that have fun with it. But I think from that moment, like after that whole part happens, that's where like the whole Alice like story kind of takes into, and like I honestly like I loved her as a character. We kind of prefaced this earlier and talked about, but her taking on this lead and taking on supposed to be kind of the new leader of the thing. I feel like she does great. I don't know her necessarily from other movies. I don't know her as far as her acting abilities, but just her likability and being a character that I'm pretty much off the jump feel like I'm there for, I'm rooting for. I want her to end up making it, not fucked up like the rest of these. But soon enough, she's in a fucking bathroom with cheerleaders around her and in a mirror, and things are going south.
Well, it's cool though because you can.
Oh wait,
she starts
that's
out
Kristen
like
though.
What's that?
That's Kristen though. She ends up falling asleep, right? And then Kristen's in the mirror.
Yeah. Well, like it's after. So that's when Rick dies. Is what you're talking about. Like Rick is like falling asleep on the toilet.
Oh,
right. Come in the stall.
Right. Okay,
and then, like,
right.
Rick sees like an image of Kristen in the mirror, but it's after she dies.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just Freddy fucking with him, basically.
You ever fall asleep on the toilet?
Was that?
Yeah.
Ever fall asleep on the toilet? Let's just get
I
out
don't think I've ever fallen asleep on the toilet before.
Definitely.
Definitely. How does that
Well, I'll tell you how it happens. You want me to set the stage?
Yeah, I want to know about how you fall asleep on the toilet. Wouldn't you just like take your dump and get out of
Probably
there?
pre-workout and then a little bit of protein after.
Check this out.
Steak and hot sauce.
You go to sleep at night. You have a dream that your stomach hurts, and you wake up because you can't sleep very well, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" Like, "Oh, I gotta take a shit." And you gotta go to the bathroom, and you realize I've got food poisoning, and I'm exhausted. So you start shitting and throwing up in the bathtub. As you're shitting and throwing up in the bathtub, and you're exhausted, but you can't get up because if you get up, you're gonna shit yourself in the bed. So what you end up doing, you end up like leaning over, and you're just like, and then you fall asleep.
Holy shit!
That's how it's done.
I enjoyed hearing about this. I mean, dude, there's definitely
terrible
been a time
story
in my life where I've been like throwing up and shitting at the same time for sure. But what I ended up having to, like, I think I knew it was going to happen. I remember this. I had a bowl.
It's coming.
Like I had a bowl for the throwing up. So
like a cereal bowl or like a mixing
big
bowl?
Yeah, like a mixing bowl.
Oh, that's cool. Interesting.
And I puked into that. But,
was this used for Thanksgiving at any point?
Yeah.
After?
No, definitely. I think it was. Was it
you motherfucker, dude?
Was it when I had Tapatios? Remember when I had food poisoning? That was fucked up.
Did you go back? Did you go back? Did you go back?
What's that?
Did you ever go back and eat there again?
Yeah, I've eaten there a bunch of times. That's another thing.
You're
that
eating out of that.
Can't seem to understand is why I would ever go back to a place that I got food poisoning at 2 different times. But I mean, honestly,
wow.
I've eaten there like probably 1,000 times. So 2 out of 1,000 is not bad.
Okay, so let me ask this. Okay, I mean we have We have Freddie who says, if the food doesn't kill you, the service will. And you're talking, this maybe is the fucking, the moment of, what are our categories again? Motherfucker. The meta is fuck, dude. Let's talk about that. I mean, this is a great moment for this.
Yeah.
What is your cutoff point for not going to a fucking place?
I still
What's
don't
wrong with
understand
you?
what the meta is fuck category actually means.
Who cares? All right.
Who cares?
You know what I'm saying? In real life, you had terrible service. You got fucking food poisoning twice, and you still went. What is the cutoff point? When are you going to not go somewhere?
Well, I think if it kept happening, like the thing is that it doesn't happen every time in a row. So it's like, all right,
it happened twice.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been there so many times. It didn't happen 2 times in a row.
No, dude, I'm not going back. That happens once, I'm out of there. You know what I'm saying? This could be the best hot wings that I've had. My ass is blowing up after that motherfucker. Nah, I'm out of there.
I agree.
I got to retire.
I'm not eating. I get sick at a place. I'm not eating there again. Nah, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna risk it.
I'll be honest. I just don't fear. I don't fear food poisoning. It is what it is.
I hate puke.
You take a chance. Somebody like doesn't wash their hands right. They make your burrito. Like
Oh my god.
I mean,
it's unreal.
Literally every time you've ever eaten anywhere, you've risked that. Like, it doesn't matter how clean the place is. Like, somebody's fucking doing that, dude. I bet you at every single restaurant, somebody gets food poisoning every day. Every day.
I feel like all of a sudden you've become Freddy, and you're just talking about all my fucking fears of like having OCD.
They need to work food poisoning into one of the deaths.
Yeah, to kill me. Shit.
where he's just like shitting his brains out, and Freddy's just like,
the body deflates. It's completely fucking sunken in. My eyes are white. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. I mean,
so would you say, John, that that with you walk among your enemies?
Say that again.
Would you say that because you have no fear?
Is this like a hate breed quote or something?
No. It's an underdog quote, but anyways, you didn't pick up it.
Oh yeah. I walk among my enemies. Okay, I got it. Sorry.
Your emeries?
His emeries.
No.
Among my enemies without fear.
God,
right.
That's unreal.
Right.
An amazing song.
It is amazing song. All right.
So let's see. Where was the last part that we were at here?
We talked about Sheila. We talked about
Sheila.
What's
we were just getting to the restaurant.
Allison's brother's name?
Rick.
Rick. Rick. That's right. Yeah.
Next after that is Debbie.
That's the best one. That's a
legendary Freddy kill.
That's the best one. Fucked up.
Honestly, there's so much and I think what was cool with this movie to me is that part being incorporated. It made it feel like, obviously, like Friday, like Nightmare on Elm Street movies have been, compared to being slashers and being, different aspects. But when we have this kill and we have this like cockroach house and we have the cinematography that goes into it and fucking Freddy's eye in so many aspects of like, how did they pull this off? The coolest part, I think, to me was where all of a sudden this movie like pulls into a zone of body horror, and she like her arms are breaking and she's fucking, her skin's pulling off, dude.
Pretty
so
fucked up.
Sick.
Very
Cronenberg. Right? Absolutely.
That part's awesome. My favorite, like, the part that freaked me out the most with that part is like when she's lifting the weights and then all of a sudden you can see Freddy in like the shine of like the dumbbell.
So cool.
And like and like dude, the part where she already has the bug arms, and she starts to get away. He just like throws the
barbell
like at the camera.
So awesome.
Freddy is just like just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I think like there's so many different things too, like I think it's interesting how they've mentioned and they've kind of, like gone into like within the documentary and things, talking about how the producers and the director Rennie Harlan like butted heads so much throughout this. And you see certain things and you can kind of be like, maybe that's a little silly, maybe that's a little quirky, but I think things like this, like at whatever point it was in production, you see something like this and it's like, fuck, man, this guy, like, he gets it. He doesn't want a straight on view. You have something to where it could simply be him throwing a bar and that's that. And they actually have it set up where it's in front of a mirror and the mirror shatters right as the bar hits and he's like seen it. Dude, there's so many cool fucking tricks in this whole part of the movie. And honestly, like, watching this made me remember at some point earlier in life that I had seen at least this part, because I remember being younger and talking about when I was at the gym lifting and talking about my arms busting open and being like, yo, dude, like, there was some part in a fucking Freddy movie and her arms busted in half and shit. Like, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to. And I was probably lifting 15-pound dumbbells. You know what I'm saying? Just jacked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a really torturous scene. Like,
It is.
Holy shit, man.
The
she
bench-
gets
the
the
bench
real
press.
short end of that stick.
She's also got like a closer grip too. So it comes down and then just like, because I don't know, for anybody that hasn't done or has done the like close grip,
Like skull crushers or something?
Just this is like a close grip like bench press, right? That's supposed to focus more on your tries.
Mhm.
It already puts your elbows, if you do them wrong, in like a bad, in a compromised position. So you have to be very careful. So the idea is you're coming down with it, and then all of a sudden your fucking elbow tendons just like snap. That's fucked up. And that's like, every time I watch it, it always like makes me like, I like just always fucking cringe.
I kind of think when he says like no pain, no gain too, it's also like a kind of like a big fuck you to like the 80s, and like that was probably such like a hot slogan for people trying to like get in shape in the 80s, like no pain, no gain, like exercising becoming like massively popular with like weightlifters and stuff. Like, I just love that he says that right before that. Like, dude, Freddy really is the best ever.
He's a fucking madman.
There's no better villain.
I mean, and it's not even to mention like those initial parts too within, her getting at the gym and everything. I think I'm kind of even like fast forwarding a little too far from like taking away from Alice being in the theater. Like, watching that scene and
awesome.
Thinking back to it being 1990 or 1988 and it being the late 80s even, and thinking back to like how they fucking pulled that off. Like, once again, the editing team, like, high five every one of these motherfuckers, because it's sick and it just feels like so flawless. You know what I'm saying? hey yo, my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, let's give a little credit, man, to some people. Fuck, dude, it's so cool.
Yeah, dude. The thing that's great about the movie is that it's kind of like this really diversified adventure. Like, where like so many different types of things happen, and it's like you could probably name like 5 of your favorite Freddy scenes, and most of them are probably in part 4
from this movie.
I mean? So pretty awesome.
Totally. I mean, and there's like just some of the different aspects, and obviously like things from her being like sucked into the scene, or being like her shoes flying off and shit. You can do that with simple wire harnesses and things like that, but it was just like initially seeing that and really kind of rewinding it back and like hyper focusing on it. You're like, dude, like, it just looks fucking great and it looks cool, and it's one of those things that you never think of, but then the next time you go and you sit in a movie theater, you're like, this motherfucker gonna suck me in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, now that you mention all this, like, the next time I watch it, I'm gonna think about how cool all these parts look.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like we're kind of like glossing over the part with her actually turning into a full-on bug and being in the Roach Motel. And,
amazing.
Dude,
it's the best. It's the best kill in the movie.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, like, from that part, and I we kind of mentioned like the gross aspect to it, but once again, I think like the cinematography of this and the fact of that, them just saying, oh, she's gonna, we're gonna show bug arms, and then she's gonna maybe shrink down and we step on her. That's it. Her going through the whole thing, being in the maze, the different lights, and then all of a sudden realizing she slaps down on that fucking goo and like full on turning into.
It's like a miniature world too. Like when a roach
like a forced perspective
walks into one of those like little roach motels. I mean, it's like you could hold that thing in the palm of your hand.
So,
but it's like they
sick.
film it like in life size with like the screen with Freddy's eye behind it, like you were saying. And it's like this is now like Debbie's world. Like she's like micro sized, but like we're getting to see it up close. You know, and she's crawling on. And what's funny is there's also another roach in there with her, which is also kind of funny.
Really quick, just because it just popped up on I've got the movie playing over here too, and just trying to refresh different things. But something that I completely forgot about and might not be something that's ever popped out to you guys, but when Alice is sitting in the restaurant and she sees her older self as the waitress, and she repeats whatever the line is, like "Come on, honey," whatever it is.
I don't want to be here forever.
And she like feels like she's like a fucking robot or something, dude. I rewound that a couple of times because that movie or that scene, that part, her performance like freaked me the fuck out.
It's creepy.
Seriously, like it is jarring. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. Just the look in her eyes, something about that. But I was just like, I don't like that. I don't want to fucking be there.
It's another one of those examples of like Freddy taking like this like, because she says earlier in the movie, she's like they're like, you don't want to get stuck working here for the rest of your life, and she's like, I know, it's my worst fear.
Right.
So it's like another
Right.
one of those things where Freddy's like, oh, you're afraid of this? Cool. Yeah. Now I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then not to mention, I mean, a great selection of a pie. I mean, when you go to order a pizza, what are you getting on it, other than some faces, some of your friends' souls?
That's all I ever asked for.
Wasn't it also like a little funny too that it was like one of these like late night diners that it set up, and there was a pizza there. I've been to late night diners before. I've never had pizza or I've ever seen pizza on a menu before, so I could be wrong. But like a pizza at a late night diner, it's like usually like different kind of food,
like a burger,
like burgers and stuff like that. But like a pizza,
$5 milk,
that's cool.
Shake,
yeah.
They're trying to change it up a little bit. She's been there forever, apparently. You know what I'm saying? You got to change up something somewhere.
You know what? They had pizza at McDonald's at some point. I think this place might have introduced it at some point. It's practical.
Oh fuck! Was it?
You don't
was it
remember?
Pizza? I kind of vaguely remember pizza being at McDonald's, but I'm trying to remember.
Wait,
if it was
are you
a
for
pizza
real?
or if it was
Yeah,
like
I'm not
a
kidding.
burger, or if it was like a burger pizza pie, basically. Like so, it was like a burger that was cut up in pizza. I kind of vaguely remember this.
I mean, I'm from like 3 or 4 generations before you guys, so
yeah, it's like just
could
off
be
the old
something I
book.
remember back in like the
Yeah.
when I was
When
graduating
I
college in
was
the late
your
'60s. But
age, you old whippersnappers.
When it was right next door to a 50s diner.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
it was actually a '50s diner when I went there. So
Oh shit! Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. I mean that whole part. Once again, I not try to take away from the Roach Motel, but was absolutely disgusting. And I think maybe that is something with this movie that when I went back and got to dug in again, it was a good point that you had made, John, as far as like it's just like it's kind of like a multiverse of adventures, and you kind of go from one thing, they're still connected, it doesn't feel disjointed, but you're like, where the fuck are things going to go now? And when you have is it Debbie?
yeah,
When you have her death happen, it's just like, dude, how is anything going to happen after this that's going to fucking top that? Like, they definitely saved the best for last. That whole sequence, it's not even just her death, the whole sequence, the whole transition, her walking with the fucking bug arms. Fuck off, dude.
Dude, yeah, it's
so awesome.
because like it's like that scene is kind of broken into 2 parts because like he like fucks her up and like while she's like lifting weights, and then it turns into like her as a bug, and then he crushes her in the Roach Motel. So it's like there's like a 2-part torture for that,
right? Right.
It makes me like kind of sad for cockroaches because like imagine like being a cockroach and you're just walking along and then all of a sudden like you're stuck to the floor and like maybe you try to lift your head up and like all your skin comes off. Like, dude, that sucks.
Oh well, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's what made me go vegan. Like,
if you really are that concerned and want to make a change,
Yeah,
contact
just
your
being
rep.
yeah.
Contact your rep about that.
listen, I'm gonna contact my rep. I'm gonna contact my rep, and I'm gonna request, better treatment for cockroaches, and also I'm gonna see, what we can do about this like rising sale of roach motels, because it's just not
That's
cool.
a start. That's a
It's
start.
the reason that I'm an animal rights activist. That I work for PETA. So
If you're
PETA.
if you're Debbie's rep though, what are you doing? Your skin just fucking pulled off, dude. You're a roach with 3 other motherfuckers, mind you. How'd that happen?
You don't want to tell Debbie to contact her rep. I don't know if that's going to do much good at
It's
this
not going to
time.
do much. But you know what it will do is at least you'll know you're going to go out with 2 other roaches. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
true.
true. It's true.
Telling
You
Not alone.
got coverage. There's the there's the number.
I kind of also always like thought that like when he crushes the box, like that's the one thing that's kind of out there about that. Like if you were to like crush a roach motel, like there wouldn't be like a quart of slime that just like spills out
No,
like it does.
but
Like
maybe not for 1, but maybe for 3 cockroaches, you might get that amount of slime. That's probably why they had the extra ones in there. They wanted to make sure it was extra slimy.
Maybe
you know
it was
what?
supposed to be the slime on the base of it that was holding them there. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what? I'll give you guys that one. Thanks.
You should.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ow.
Antonio, I appreciate you contacting your rep about
Hey,
that one.
thanks. Hey, I do what I can.
The truck crash in that whole sequence also, because it being divided between the 2 friends who are noticing that they're like, fuck, dude, we've done this 3 times again, but let's get in the truck again and try it one more time. And then next thing you know, you're at the fucking. That was also another sequence where I was like, man, like,
They never make
you
it.
know,
They never make it over there to save Debbie. So
right.
it's like Alice like kind of like wakes up from like whatever dream she's having, like kind of, it's like she's that's like another thing that's kind of crazy about it. It's like she's like awake, but she's like still experiencing the dream almost.
Yeah.
And it's like she's driving, but then she like wakes up from like right after he crushes Debbie in the Roach Motel. And then they see Freddy in the middle of the street, and they're like, "All right, that's it. We're gonna fuck you up." And then it just ends up being them wrapping their truck around like what is probably like a tree in the middle of the road or some shit.
Yeah.
So.
And then going in the back of that sick ambulance. You know what I'm saying? I've never been in the back of an ambulance, but I'm hoping that it's like that because it rips. The lighting, the neons.
Yeah, it's like a ghastly green neon thing. I will say that my favorite line in maybe any Freddy movie is when he's like when Dan's in the operating table and he's like Kruger, and then he's like, "Well, it ain't Dr. Seuss." Like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, that fucking
That's pretty
line
good.
is genius. Like the way that it's delivered and
so
like,
dumb.
dude, it is so good. Like that is such a good line. That dude, Freddy. I think I've said it 6 times now in this episode. Dude, Freddy is the GOAT. Like anybody
He's
ever says anything
sick.
bad about that character, like they're just wrong.
I
He's the best.
in I would say from the original movie, I've gone, now in some of the movies that we're going to talk, I've watched, like a few more times too. But from the original, I would have to say that that's my favorite. This being a close right after, and I think just because of the fun that is involved in this movie and the spirit that is behind it, I really feel like because it was something too with like when they were doing test audiences for the movie before it was released. They were in the audience, the director and producers and shit, and saw like the people's reaction to it. And they're like, "Oh shit! Like
This is gonna do good."
You did it.
It did do well.
Yeah.
It's that. I think it's the highest grossing of the entire series. Like even beat out the first one. I think.
Holy shit! Really?
I think
Freddy vs. Jason is, but at the time
What's
it
that?
wasn't number 1. Freddy vs. Jason is
Freddy
the
vs.
highest grossing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it was before that. It was though.
Yeah, which is, dude. If you think about them, I mean, historically speaking, part fours of horror series like really aren't being gawked at. Like
Leprechaun in Space.
it's like by the time you
No.
get to part 2 or 3, like you're basically like, yeah, these movies are fucking terrible now.
We won't talk about 5. We won't talk about Dream Child. I know, but like, I had rewatched it, and I talked about it a little bit on the third. I think in the third one, but like, damn, that one is really fucking good. A lot better than I'd remembered it.
I
And
agree.
like, and then I was thinking about it, and I remembered. So Halloween 5 came out in '89. So I looked up the other horror movies that came out. So like 5 came out in '89, and then you had Friday the 13th. The fifth one came out, right? Which was or no, it was this. I think it's the sixth. I think Manhattan came out in '89. Whichever number one that is 7.
Manhattan's part 8, so
8.
it's probably
so I
part
think
7
8.
that came out in '88 because I remember.
No, I think it was '89. I think Manhattan came out in '89. I can't remember. I looked this up. There's like several horror movies like that flagship franchises, and like there's no question that 5 is like the better one out of all of those.
That's 7, dude.
And
Boy.
it's like
We're
crazy.
not talking about Friday the 13th
No, we're
part
not
5. You're talking
fucking-
about Nightmare on Elm Street part 5.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
you.
part 5. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because I'm just basically trying to like prove the point that like what you're saying with 4, I'm also saying that with 5, and it went up against other horror franchises with their own sort of like entries for that year, and it was like 3 of them. I think it was Friday the 13th, Halloween, and then Nightmare on Elm Street, and like no question that Dream Child was like so much better of a movie than those, like without a doubt.
Dude, your brother,
I don't know,
brother
dude.
just joined this thing.
Friday the
Antonio.
13th,
Yeah,
the
I was
fifth
talking to
one,
him right before this. So
it's pretty sick.
Dude,
Dude,
I'm
it is.
almost positive. We can look it up, but I'm almost positive that Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 and Friday the 13th Part 7 came out at the exact same time.
You've just listed like 17 fucking movies. What is the actual question? I can look it up really quick.
I think it is. I think that Manhattan came out in '89. I think that was what I found. So I think it was '89. It was that, and then it was Halloween 5 came out. I don't know if when you said, John, you said it came out at the same time. I don't know, like what month or anything.
I think Part 5
Manhattan
of Nightmare on Elm
is
Street
89.
And what was Part 7 of Friday the 13th? Because I'm pretty sure that's 89, and I swear I thought that Manhattan came out in the 90s.
Manhattan is '89 for sure.
All
I would
right,
really
all
like
right.
that one, but it is. I
Did you contact your rep about it?
Yeah.
I contacted my rep about it.
I'm doing that currently. It says Friday the 13th Part 7 is such a big piece of shit, I can't pull up any information on it
Dude, that
currently.
is the best of all of them.
The psychic one.
It's weird. Yeah.
Dude, that's the
I'm
one.
trying to use my powers, and yeah, it still sucks ass. It's weird.
Let's do another episode right now. Dude,
No.
That's the one where Jason's got the circle
Fuck
saw
no.
on the pole.
I mean,
He's got the circle saw on the pole.
it's cool.
Dude,
There's cool
It's
kills.
cool.
I'll give you that.
Cool.
But
He said it's cool.
okay. Anyway, 1988. So that would be the same year as this was Part 7.
okay, fine. Okay.
So you put Friday the 13th Part 7 against A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Come on, dude.
No. Nothing touches Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Are you kidding me?
All right, you back to your senses. I appreciate that. All right, and I love Friday the 13th. Don't get me wrong. Like honestly, like as far as it's pretty tough. Like the first Friday the 13th it's okay. It's not as bad. I initially said it sucked ass. Part 2, I do not like. I've never liked that movie. I probably never will. I've never been into that movie a whole lot. So, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 versus Friday the 13th Part 2, it's a tough go.
I just need to say that Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th Part 7 does have the scene where the girl is in the sleeping bag.
Oh, yeah.
The sleeping bag against the tree.
Which is also
that's cool.
absolutely
That's
sick.
fucking awesome.
If
cool.
only the movie rocked and they didn't have some chick, whipping off like gasoline lids with her fucking mind. It'd be sick. It's at a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb, so I'm not the only one.
Oh, but
let's see here.
But come on, like you think, come on. Look at
I'm
the
just trying
ratings
to.
that they have
I'm
for all this bullshit.
brother. I'm just trying to shit on it.
I,
That's all. I'm just trying
I,
to take the
I,
opportunity.
I haven't rewatched the movies in a row in a long time, but I do remember like because the main character was Tommy Jarvis, right? For the
Yeah.
those
Yep.
those
Isn't it like
that's
part 4 into part 5 or something?
yeah, like I that's like I'm harped on the continuity stuff like at the beginning. Like that's the stuff that I really love about like the Friday the 13th series is that like that continuity really.
Hmm.
6 is actually pretty sick too. Friday the 13th 6 where they go into that I know we're like off like oh
Come on, dude.
yeah.
Dude,
I
Lo-Fi Horror Guy gave me a Friday the 13th Part 7 shirt that
Really?
I'm so excited about.
Damn.
look,
I'm
man.
very excited about.
You
Damn.
know,
That's badass.
for a cool shirt, I just didn't have use for it. You know what I'm saying? I knew you were a fan. I knew you were a lover. You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely a
Totally.
lover. He's definitely a lover.
Wow.
Not a
You know,
fighter.
Not
you
a
Not a
know.
fighter.
fighter. I must be a lover.
All right.
Nope.
I love it. I love it. You know. So and continuing on with this. So we're talking set pieces. We're talking some ridiculous things that happen in part 4. We have a full on fucking kaleidoscope. I mean, wrap your like I'm trying to sit here and think about how I would wrap my mind around trying to create something like this. You have 4 or 5 different fucking sections of this thing moving in seemingly so different directions. You've got cutouts with lights coming through. Set design, props.
Yeah.
Wow.
It kind of
Absolutely
looks like
unreal.
Discovery Zone or something.
Dude,
The fuck is that?
honestly,
I
yes. You don't remember Discovery Zone?
don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Well,
a TV
it was
show?
like
Like what?
no, it was like a place you would go. It was like a like
Like an entertainment center. Like a well,
yep, but
no.
it was like you like those places where they had like the tunnels and the slides and you had like the ball
Like a
pit
like a
Like
and
like a
everything like that.
yeah,
a
like a
Chuck E.
kid
Cheese
a
type
kid's party.
situation?
Yeah, but like Chuck E. Cheese like had games. It's not like had games, but it was mostly like this huge area where you would do like I don't even know how to describe this fucking thing. There was like tubes, I don't know, like tubes, and you would like go and there was like
Like a
several stories up, and you
like an indoor park with
Okay.
like the
Okay.
ball pits
Right.
and like the slides and like
the
it's
slides. Yeah,
way more advanced than Chuck E. Cheese for
there
sure.
was a thing though in Discovery Zone, John, that I actually do remember. That was something like that where you would like go into like one of the tubes or something you could walk through, and it had kind of like a bunch of like things that were spinning around it. You know what I'm talking about? Do you
Not
remember?
really.
We no, you would like walk through it and it turns. It's like turning, and it's got all these colors and all that stuff. So you walk through
They
it.
probably filmed the part in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 at a Discovery Zone. I'm guessing.
Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, yep.
I mean, it sounds sick. I'm pretty bummed out that I missed out on it. Honestly, it sounds fucking radical. You know, but like trying to think of them doing this on a set of some sort and trying to pull, you know, that off and having all the moving parts that have on there, like, dude, it's
Cool.
fucking ridiculous. It's like bring me to the fight scene after this. Let's kind of let's kind of talk about this. How do you feel about this?
I think it's awesome when she's just like beating the shit out of him and he's just laughing the entire time. It's pretty awesome. She's like hitting him like 60 billion times and he's just laughing the entire time. And then I think he says something like awesome and then punches her or something. It's pretty cool. But like yeah, I mean it's impressive that I think the whole character of Alice is cool because like she starts out like this like really timid kind of like
Meat.
verbally abused character like by her dad, you know. And then she's like also like really shy and like just timid, you know. And then she like gains confidence and like powers throughout the movie and then all of a sudden she's like a badass like almost superhero-ish, you know. But it's like she pulls it off. It's like pretty awesome, you know. But,
I mean, she's real powerful, and then she gets thrown through a fucking pulpit, and you're like, oh boy, you know what I'm saying? She gets thrown 30 yards.
I think the whole point of that scene is like, it doesn't matter what training you have, like you can't just hit Freddy. Like,
How many bracelets? What type of leather you got on?
I mean, karate didn't work.
It's like it's almost like all for nothing. Really. it's like no, you have to like say some weird prayer and then he'll die.
You,
Yes,
you got to
you can't just
figure
like
out something.
punch him a bunch of times in the face. He's just gonna laugh.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and like from somebody who's not in the situation, uh, it was still very frustrating to sit there and watch that. You know, when you're like getting exhausted and you're fucking slapping on somebody and they're just like laughing, you're like, motherfucker, dude. You know, like it's not even the fact that I've lost the fight. It's just the fact that you're not going to fucking feel anything I'm doing. What do I
Yeah.
do?
At that point, you really just want Alice to just like level him. You know, like
It's true.
it's like, okay, Freddy, like your jokes are done. Like she's got to kill you now.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It was fun, but
I,
I'm over it.
I'm. I mean, how do you feel about the whole death, the wrap up of this movie? You know, is this something that's satisfying to you? Was it something where maybe it's grown on you over time?
I'd I'd say it qualifies as a good ending because of like the scene with like all the people coming out of Freddy. I mean that's like a prop, the prop of all props. Like that like whole scene, like how they did it and all that. Like there's like a museum, like a movie museum somewhere where they have that original like Freddy prop, like it's like on display. But it's like a giant, like the way they made that was like it was like a giant Freddy that was like big enough for like 6 or 7 people to fit inside. And that's when you
Like
see
all
all
the
the bodies coming out.
faces and shit coming
they
out?
were? Do you
Oh,
think they were
really?
actually like naked? Do you think they were naked?
What's that?
Do you think they're actually naked?
Yeah, they look naked.
I mean,
I thought
Linnea
they, I,
Quigley
I thought
was.
they,
I
I thought
think
they
they
looked
actually do
naked.
say in the documentary that they all are actually naked
Oh, really?
inside the Freddy. Yeah,
Hmm.
that sounds like it would have been either really fun to film or like one of the worst, like the worst like 2 to 3 hour stretches of your entire life.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane that you go in like looking into that. Even they had, and I don't know. I was trying my hardest to try and find something behind this, but Linnea Quigley, who is like a known fucking actress, huge in the '80s, even beyond. She was one of the bodies that was in there. She was like the prominent female that her chest
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
like popping out. It's like,
that's weird.
how? Yeah, like what? How did you get that job? That's insane.
Yeah,
But
why didn't she have like why didn't she just like be a better actress somewhere else in the movie?
play
But yeah,
play Kristen. Who knows? I don't know. But I would say like that'd be kind of funny. Like all of a sudden, it's the movie jumps like a year later, and she's fucking 60 years old.
yeah, they've got like another Kristen actress.
It'd be like what was that movie? Not Another Teen Movie where like they're supposed to do the Never Been Kissed bit, and it's like the lady who's like 73 years old in high school.
I don't think I've. It's been a while since I saw that, but that movie's amazing.
Let's bring this back sometime here in the next couple months and talk Never or Not Another Teen Movie. God damn, that movie is fucking hilarious. All
We
right,
should do that and Scary Movie in the same shot.
oh, dude, so, those are both fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I
I think the ending of part 4 like qualifies as a pretty awesome ending.
I think it's good too. I would say straight up, I don't think it's the best one. I still think third is the best ending of any of the movies. Um, but
think I
I think
disagree.
But I think that by the time 4 comes around, I don't care about any of the things that I cared about in 3 because the whole makeup of like Freddy and the point of the movies and everything like that have like kind of shifted for me. Like, so when I'm watching it, I'm not looking for things that I was looking for in 3. Does that make sense? Because so for me, the reason why I like the ending for 4 is because I'm not looking for this to get all wrapped up and tied up and with a bow and make me feel good about it. I know now we're gonna have more of these movies that are going to come. So for me, I'm chilling.
I mean, I can see that too. Like, I think the crazy thing for me, and when we talked the first movie, that was like the moment where that was like the only thing to really say like the ending was kind of a bummer, and I wish that even I think Wes Craven even wished that they didn't end up doing that. But going back and watching all of these movies, I feel like this movie had the most solid, especially with the part of Freddy exploding in that tunnel. You're seeing all these bodies and all these souls. Dude, it's pretty tough, like to top, honestly. I feel like from front to back, this movie was something that I slept on for a long time, and I'm kind of bummed that I did because this movie is fucking
Dude,
awesome. I,
you know
I
what?
and I loved it.
when we're talking about just the way you were speaking about the ending just now, it made me realize like that should have been the ending of Freddy's Dead. That's how Freddy's
Yeah,
Dead should have
totally.
ended.
yes,
Because
yes.
like
Yeah.
talk about not topping like the ending from like 2 previous movies. Like
Yeah.
the
That
ending of
ending
part
was
6 is like morbidly fucking
Mhm.
disappointing. You know, but like yeah, if part 6 ended the way part 4 did, that would have been a great cap to the
I
series.
agree.
But I
Yeah.
think even like it's something to speak on too, like with the imagination of thinking of these things. So like my thing is like at first, okay, you have the children that are speaking to Alice and saying, you know, the whole singing the song, and she picks up the glass for him to see the reflection. First of all, dumb as fuck. That's
Yeah,
it's pretty silly. But when you add in all these other ingredients as far as the shit that you see and the you know the release of all of these souls and you're seeing all the practical aspect of it, it's like, oh, this is it.
it
Like,
works. Yeah, it works.
absolutely, totally justified. So, I
Totally.
think you know, all in all, like I said, you know, from that first moment with the Kincaid death, and you know, the aspect of okay, something in the dream world is cool, but now we have the actual real world, kind of, you know, being a little bit hesitant and you know, sticking through with it. Dude, this movie front to back, man, kicks ass. I've gotta
And the way
salute you for it.
the way it like ends with like him flipping the coin into like the fountain, and then she
The
kind of sees
reflection.
like Freddy. It's kind of creepy. I like it.
Sick. I
You know.
know, dude. I wish that they would have ended up doing something like that with like the first one if they were trying to say that there's going to be another and it not being the whole dummy sucked through, you know. But
Dude, that is the worst fucking
Yeah.
ending of any
what
movie
a
ever.
bummer.
Ever.
But see, like I think for me,
Probably up
like it's
there.
like three and four are very like razor thin for me. But I have and will and still to this day like now I still side with three. But it's because like I was saying like a little bit earlier, like I still think that like so four is the highest grossing one of the series, right? Four couldn't have been as great as it was if three wasn't as good as it was, right? So that's why to me
Yes.
they're just so close. And I think and the reason why the ending when I see three, I feel it feels like a movie like there's elements to that that make it feel like a credible film, right? And not just some sort of like horror bullshit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Not that I don't like that stuff, but you know, it's got a certain level of credibility to it. And the ending of that movie, the reason why I think it's the best one is because it to me it's the most like reasonable, plausible, like this is the end of the story, right? Like the whole deal of like trying to like put this to rest, right? If you think of like other movies and storylines of other things of how do you like get rid of a ghost or whatever. Like this is the way you do it. So for me, like it's like the one that makes like the most sense, and that's why I like the ones because even like the ending of five is awesome too. But like by the time I'm getting to four, I know what's going on now. So like I don't look at it in the same lens as I looked at three or even one because I'm just having fun, right? And I just want to
Yeah.
see. I Freddy is no longer like scary to me at all at this point because he made that switch in three. And so I just want to have fun and I want to see like, you know, a storyline that's like easy enough to follow and also like enough for me to have an investment into and just have fun with it. Whereas like in the first one and the third one, I'm looking to like dig in a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's where I think for me, three makes the difference, but it doesn't make four any less of an amazing movie. It's just kind of where do you want to fall in like the like, what are you looking for? I can pop on four. I mean, you could do this with three, but I really feel like with four, I can really pop it on and just like watch it and not like, I don't have to have any like true investment in it. But I feel like with three, there are certain elements to it. I feel like you kind of have to have some level of investment. And you said this at the beginning. This movie doesn't have like any kind of slow, kind of slog parts to it, right? And I was thinking about it. You mentioned it in three, and there is kind of a lull in that movie, and it has to do with the storyline that they're trying to build. But you don't have that so much in this because it's like a straight up like what is it, an hour and a half or something like that of just fucking like it doesn't stop.
Mhm.
Like it's just like, and you know what the formula is because after you get the first three of them like that are killed off, you know we're getting ready to start into like what this next the next like 20 minutes of like how we're going to kill off the next person and it's going to just start coming falling down like the cards are just going to fall down. It's like a formula. So that's kind of like where I stand on on like the 3 to 4, but 4 is just unbelievable.
I mean, I'm glad that you say that too, because I don't want this to be like a bone wagon where we're all like, "Oh, John, Jesus, you're just the all-knowing," and thank God that you told us to watch part 4. But I will admit, I am not somebody who, I'm going to sit here and fucking, just follow because somebody says something. This movie fucking rocks. Honestly, like, I was pretty hesitant going into it. I've always loved the first
Well,
one.
you're actually like you're the black sheep out of this whole thing, because John and I have always loved like the series, and John loves it more than I do. I love it, but this is like his thing, you know? So like you were the one where you were like, hey, I haven't like really watched these in a long time, or I didn't really give a fuck about this series or whatever. So your opinion on it actually is a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit more credible probably, because we're already invested
it's a little
it.
bit less biased
Exactly.
because it's like you're coming into this fresh in
Exactly.
a way, you know?
Yeah. You're coming with it with fresh eyes because you had a specific opinion on this that for whatever reason is no longer valid anymore. You have a new opinion on this because of watching it. So
Yeah,
I think you kind of like play that kind of wild card here.
I mean, it's been like it's been so fun in doing this too, just because I have had, I mean, like years and years of just watching, new shit or watching older stuff, and for whatever reason, the Nightmare on Elm Street series has never been something that I've like gone back to, and so being able to kind of relinquish this in, digging into some of the different ones, going back and being able to watch New Nightmare again. We're gonna talk this, John. I know that you're pretty hesitant. You're doing what you have to. If anything, you can sit there, and Antonio and I will just go back and forth on it. And
so lame, John. You're so fucking
I'll tell you what's going to happen. Well, what's going to happen is when we do New Nightmare,
getting a
I'm
weird
going to show up.
disconnect.
I'm going to show
Hold
up.
on,
I'm going to have the eyeliner on. I'm going to be dressed as the Crow, and I'm gonna basically be Antonio for Halloween. So.
All right, so I would say for this movie, I mean, we already talked. I'm not. We're going to be talking New Nightmare at some point here. It's going to happen. I'm not even going to. This isn't going to be a thing that's going to be put in the universe. You're going to act like you're going to not watch it, and you're going to. It's going to be sick.
Dude, I'm
Can't
gonna
wait.
fucking watch it, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about it, and it's gonna be great. Okay.
How long have we been talking about doing this? And you said that you're going to watch it. You still haven't.
I mean, I just
listen. It's the joke. Like, listen, I know John well enough to know that he starts off with this. He's like, "Oh yeah. Like, these are the things I want to do. Oh, you want to do that? I don't really want to do that, but okay, fine, I'll do it for you." Then it comes down to it, and it's like, "Oh, I haven't even watched it yet. I'll get to it," and then the assumption is you'll forget about it.
Dude, it's kind of like how I have like 3 G.O.Y.L shirts, and I've never even listened to G.O.Y.L before.
Exactly.
You know,
Like, there you go.
So how about the? So what we can do is we can just plan again that we're going to do a reshoot. Like I lost this episode, and Antonio and I are just going to talk New Nightmare the whole time. And John, you can talk about the bug scene. You can talk about the Roach Motel, and we're like, oh yeah, sick. Remember when Freddy came on the fucking TV show, and like at that one part that happened right after that. But then
you guys are going to be talking about New Nightmare, and like here and there, I'm just going to be like, "Welcome to prime time."
I mean, it might be kind of fun for people trying to figure out the series if they don't know that Antonio and I are talking New Nightmare, and you're incorporating all these different movies where people are like, none of this cool shit even fucking happened. Like, where did this happen? I was promised a puppeteer, and this didn't happen in New Nightmare.
Yeah, lots of confusion.
Yeah, you remember that part in New Nightmare where like Bruce Willis like won that boxing match, and then he was all sweaty in the cab? Like that was pretty sick, dude.
Hey, one thing I think that would be cool to do. I don't know if it's worth like saying here, but I think it'd be cool as we round out whenever we do New Nightmare. Let's all rank the deaths of the series. We didn't talk about 5. We didn't talk about 2 or 6, right? But I think it'd be kind of cool. I'd love to see like what our lists are of our favorite deaths individually, and then we don't share it with each other, but maybe we talk about it towards the end of like New Nightmare or something like that.
You know what I'd also like to do is when we do New Nightmare, I would like for each of us to rank all 7 of them, like in order of like what we think are like the best to worst of like the 7 films, basically. So
into
that's I don't think that's gonna be that hard.
Dude, you are seriously one of the biggest fucking assholes that I know in the whole universe. Like, dude, like straight up, like I don't know of a bigger fucking prick.
You think that'll be hard to do?
Dude,
I don't think that's gonna be that hard.
I'm gonna dude, I'm gonna fucking drive to Kansas City and fucking kill you. Like you're gonna look out your window and I'm gonna be standing there in my fucking crow outfit. And I'm gonna break the window and I'm gonna fucking drain your blood.
Oh my God. All right, so I mean, we covered meta as fuck moments. We covered the perf kill. I think we all, I had mentioned the fucking the Roach Motel. A scene so good you could eat donuts on camera. What is a standout scene to you? I think I would either say the diner with Alice being older,
that's what I was gonna say.
or the eyes, oh my God, Felicia, when she gets killed. Felicia, what the
Felicia.
fuck am I talking about, dude?
Dude, you're
I'm fucking real.
crazy, man. I would
is
say
unreal.
for me, the scene so good would be just him putting on the sunglasses. That's like the top for me.
Yeah,
So sick.
that's cool.
Oh no,
So sick. I love
dude,
it.
no. What am I saying? It's the well, it ain't Dr. Seuss part.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
that is like a top 10 cinematic moment for me. Like that, the way that line is delivered and like his face and his voice, like it's just so perfect.
Oh man, I'm glad that we finally got this together. We have to do New Nightmare, and then even in then, if we don't have a whole lot to talk about it, we speed through that. We can do a breakdown of our favorites, least to most favorite, and then do a breakdown of maybe top 5 favorite kill. Or how do we do that?
Top
Do we?
5 is good.
Well, I mean,
Top five
kills.
but there's 7 movies. I mean,
that's
that's an
not many.
opportunity to do 7 favorites. It's not to say that it's a
Your favorite from every movie?
All right, fine.
No, but I'm saying you have to choose one from each movie.
Yeah.
Would that make sense?
Okay, so like here's the thing, all right?
I don't know, dude.
This is my ranking.
Let's talk about this off camera because this is gonna go long.
Dude,
this is my ranking. Okay.
Get your wife and dog and kids out of the house right now because I'm gonna fucking burn your house.
Oh God. Oh, okay. Last thing before we part.
Surprise.
I talked about this in the last one. I'm gonna bring it up again. I just want to make sure because I remember if we were all on the same page. I think John and I were. This is the best horror series ever, right?
Of course.
We're talking about consistently good movies. You don't have many of them that go into 4, 5.
Okay, so let me think. So I like the first movie. The second movie's pretty good. The third movie's pretty good. The fourth movie's pretty good. 5 and 6 are a little. Freddy's Dead has grown on me a little bit more. I do like New Nightmare. So out of the worst, I can say 5. The Friday the 13th movies, I could say the first one just for a passable score. The third one I love. Fourth one I love. Fifth one I love. Sixth one I love. Seventh one doesn't count.
You love.
Eighth one, Jason Takes Manhattan is sick. And the other ones go to hell. And then what's the fucking
and Space, right? Jason in Space or whatever.
Jason Goes to Hell sucks. That was basically the second Nightmare on Elm Street, which I have rewatched. By the way, we talked about this. I did rewatch it because I haven't rewatched it in a long time. I'm not finished with it because I've been like watching it as I'm going to bed at night.
Wait, which one?
And the second Freddy's Revenge, and I actually really like it.
Movie's awesome.
It's
ridiculous. I actually do like it. So thus far. So yeah. Anyway,
I think Friday the 13th still takes it for me. Unfortunately, I'd have to maybe go back and and watch a couple, but like I'm certain in the ones that I said that I do love. I'm certain in that part 7.
But you liked it. But wow. I like the Friday the 13th series as well. But I don't think that I don't think that there's enough movies that are of caliber for Nightmare on Elm Street like comparable. Like there's the ones that I like, but I don't think that like I wouldn't take. Okay, so like I wouldn't take 3, 4, 5. of Friday the 13th over Nightmare on Elm Street. Like in terms of like the movies, even though I really like those Friday the 13th movies, I would take 3, 4, 5 of. I'd take 3, 4, 5 of Nightmare.
I think I'm okay. So I'm trying to come up with
I
like a
don't know,
cool.
man.
I'm trying to come up with like a cool analogy here, and so this is the one I came up with. I feel like Friday the 13th is kind of like Iron Maiden, and like Nightmare on Elm Street is like Slayer, where there's like 1/3 as many Slayer albums as there
You
are
just said
Iron Maiden
that
albums.
because I said I love Slayer earlier today.
I'm in support of Slayer. I'm saying I
Yeah.
like Slayer more than Iron Maiden.
But I'm saying you're trying
But-
to
Yeah.
sway my vote by saying like, well, Nightmare on Elm Street is technically fucking Slayer, so you should like it more. That's
yeah,
what's
look,
happening.
fuck
Damn.
you. That is what I'm saying. Fine.
No. I think the thing about the Friday the 13th movies, though, and we don't have to harp on this much because it doesn't really make sense. But the Friday the 13th movies, they're fun and a lot of them. You could really truly just watch them standalone, and you don't really need a lot of investment in those movies. They're just there. You know what I mean? And like it's all about like Jason. Really, aside from the Tommy Jarvis stuff, that's like it is. You know, so it becomes more loose as the movies go on, but like it's there, but it's just not like Alice, it's not like Nancy, you know. So like that's what I mean by some of that, because I'm definitely not a diss. I think I would still take the Friday the 13th series over all the Halloween movies, and I love those movies. You know what I mean? I just think that like for me, I just think in terms of quality movies and
Over the first
like,
2 Halloween movies?
the Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Over the first 2 Halloween movies?
Well, listen,
Brother,
I would take
for a straight edge man, you are high as fuck.
I would take Halloween. I'm talking about the full series. Though. If I have to take the full series, right? I don't like the Halloween movies. I don't really enjoy Halloween after 3. I mean, they're fine.
Okay.
Dude,
watched
part
them,
Yeah,
4 is
I agree.
awesome. Halloween 4 is
but,
awesome.
but
It's
that's what
all
I'm
right.
saying.
It's
like,
not bad.
But like the Friday the 13th movies, if I'm looking at them as a whole, you know,
I see what you're saying.
I'm gonna
Okay.
enjoy watching all of those than like
Over
sitting through,
Halloween.
like the slogs of like 5 and 6 in Resurrection in the Rob Zombie movies and all the like the bad timelines they
dude.
have,
All
you
right,
know. So
all right.
so
Time out. Analogy attempt number 2.
Okay.
Oh god.
So Friday the 13th is kind of like Sun, and Nightmare on Elm Street is like I Hate God. There's like a lot more charm to Nightmare on Elm Street. There's less of it, right? And Friday the 13th is kind of like you're getting the same thing over and over again, and it's cool, you know? Like with Sun, like every fucking Sun record is exactly the fucking same. I love the band, okay? This isn't a diss to them. But every record, if somebody tried to tell me that any of them are different from another, I'd be like, fuck you. You're an idiot. Whereas like every I Hate God record is basically different. Like none of them sound alike.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
there's more going on with each one of them. Whereas like every Sun record is just a riff and then a riff.
You know, I mean, it might be a separate, conversation to be had. I mean, honestly, like because
I need to go back and rewatch all of them too to like really feel good about this, but I feel good about it.
But I'm literally like I'm thinking back of the love that I have eternally for like Friday the 13th, the 3rd and the 4th movies, and I can definitely say I like Part 3 better than Dream Warriors, which my best friend Ryan would fucking kill me over. But I can say that. The insane thing for me to say, and maybe this is a win for for you in this case, I don't know what I would say between fucking Dream Master and the final chapter, and I love the final chapter.
The final chapter is
That's actually interesting that you would say that
awesome.
Because I think Final Chapter, if you're looking at the first 4 movies, it's probably actually the best movie in terms of like
absolutely.
Like I was talking about as far as like Nightmare on Elm Street 3 in terms of like an actual film, like the 4th one, and that's when you have what's this guy's name, Corey Feldman's in it, and like so like to me, I think 4 is like a real big turning point for that entire series, where it's like okay, like I think I'm back invested into what's going on here.
Totally.
So for you to say that, that's a pretty big.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like when I start thinking and like the more familiar that I've gotten with Dream Master, that's where I'm like, damn, like how did I get here? But the movie rules. I can't take points away from it. I'm probably going to watch the final chapter now. Halloween 4 is not going to fucking compete. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation, unfortunately. The movie is cool, but it would not, stand up to either of those other two. But I think that would be the big test, honestly, to see between those. Trying to think of other fucking movies that have part fours.
Damn, bro. I don't know. I kind of think I might take Next Generation over Halloween 4, but I don't know. I think
Ah,
about that. I would
I
also say too.
don't
The thing is with Halloween 4 is I like it, just not. I'm not gonna die for it because I feel like the what they do at the ending, like they just didn't do a good job of like continuing that because it would have been really
Wait a
cool.
second. Time out. You wouldn't die for Halloween 4?
I would for Halloween, but not
Like
for
like
Halloween
if
4.
somebody was going to kill you, like you wouldn't die for that movie?
Not for that
Like
one.
man,
know.
dude, that's fucked up.
Dun, 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 dun. He's a lo-fi horror guy. Yeah, he's kind of a guy, but he is so lo-fi, lo-fi, a horror guy. Yeah.